during last night's snow squalls, I had to go up to Walmart. I don't remember, I think I had to go for Zach, he needed something, and I didn't feel like going out driving in the snow. So, I had my first snowy drive this winter. It's kind of hard to see. I don't mind driving in the snow, but when it's coming down pretty heavy, it's really hard to see where I'm going. So, on the way home, I was just looking at the roads and how shiny they are. All the new snow, wet snow and everything is getting compacted, packed down really hard. And it's really, really slippery, slick surface. So, kinda not a good night to be driving, I guess. So, next morning, this is the coldest temperature we've had so far this year. And it's not going to last very long, and it'll warm up and the snow is all going to melt away. Well, our first snow never sticks around anyways. So, but it's not a nice night for me to be out, or a nice morning. A little too cold for me. Anything below -10 is too much for me. Well, I got the results of my inquiry for replacing the Monster's motor. Are you ready for this? It turns out you can't just get a motor for the Monster. It comes as a rear axle, motor, brake, assembly, all as one unit. That's bull. Any other scooter you can get, just a brake or just a motor, but with Hartway, you gotta buy the whole unit. So $1,100 for that. There's no tax on medical supplies, equipment and stuff, so there's no tax on it, but $86 shipping, and there's tax on the shipping, $11.18 for that. So to replace the Monster's motor, $1,200. But I guess if there's anything good in this, I don't have to worry about those leaky bearings anymore, with the grease dripping out, as the whole thing will be new, and hopefully this one will be better quality. But I see this as another way for them to just make money off of this piece of crap. Now, they know it's bad. I'm sure I'm not the only one that's getting parts for them. But let's just make parts harder to get, So I see that. That's the bottom line. They're just using it to make money off of. It's just insane.
Well, Pacific Energy is going to make its way into the Great Lakes this weekend. At the surface, two lows are going to phase together, and this is going to provide a fairly potent system that's going to be bringing in strong winds, significant rain, possible thunderstorms, and significant snow. As we time out the system, we're going to start to see snow move into northwestern Ontario through Friday morning, through the day. Tricky travel along the Trans-Canada and Highway 11 across the north as we see significant snow, strong winds, blowing snow will be possible. The rain will start to move into southern Ontario through Friday night into Saturday morning. I do want to point out on the northern edge of this system, mixing possible snow will be possible early Saturday morning across eastern Ontario and parts of southern Quebec. But through Saturday afternoon, we may end up actually seeing some thunderstorms develop across southern Ontario with a little bit more energy, widespread rain, and then cool northwesterly flow behind it. We're going to start to see a lake effect snow develop through Saturday night into Sunday, and a transition over to mixing or snow could be possible throughout the south for a period of time. Now, as we take a look at our snowfall forecast, keep in mind things could change. The exact track of the low may change closer to the date, but right now we think the heaviest snow will likely be focused between Sudbury and Moosonee. A swath of 30 to 40 centimeters of snow could be possible, and then again as we head towards Sunday into Monday with strong northwesterly winds, a lake effect snow will be developing, and those traditional snowbelt regions could be in for significant snow.
So we had another La Nina this winter. We were just coming off one last spring, and we had a heck of a spring, and we ended up with that major flooding that we had, record-breaking amount of rain, and 100-year flood, and all that wonderful stuff. So, La Nina again this year, and not really sure what to expect with it. Predicting wetter than normal, which is what we had all this year. last spring especially. It was just like constant rain up until the beginning of summer, basically. El Niño has a reputation for focusing the coldest and most active winter weather across Western Canada, with more variable and often milder weather from the Great Lakes to Atlantic Canada. Yeah, and that's what we saw. So basically what I'm getting from this is we're going to get the same thing we had last spring. So, really not looking forward to it. It's not enjoyable weather. I like sunshine. I love the sunshine. And I love the warm temperatures. But it looks like it's going to be another roller coaster. I don't mind the rain so much, but the winter itself, if it's going to be wetter, and there's going to be more snow to deal with, and without the monster, I'd be driving ES 950, and it's not bad in the snow, but when it gets really heavy, thick, then it starts plowing it and it just bogs down. Especially if most of the snow comes from the snow squalls. It's generally pretty wet and sticky stuff, and it just piles up on the scooter and makes things not want to work properly. So, it's kind of interesting. I guess I have to wait and see what happened. So I had court today. Apparently I was lied to. It was just supposed to be the judge and the two lawyers. Nope, everybody was there. The landlord was there, my neighbor was there, and I was on the stand the entire day. That was a long, long day. There was a book of photos that my neighbor brought, documenting the wall progress, and most of those pictures were mine, because that's what I was doing right from the very beginning, when I removed the bush from the end of the driveway because it was blocking our view of the street and made it really dangerous to get out of the driveway. So I started with that, and I was keeping track of all the progress. Well, he had this book, all these pictures in it, because he did ask me for it at one point, and we were still friends at that point, so I have no problem with that. So I had to pick out each one that was mine, and it got so monotonous. They were concentrating on every tiny little detail and trying to determine. They asked me how high I thought the wall was. I said about 4 feet, and they said, "Would you say it's 4 feet 3 inches?" I was like, "I don't know. I didn't get a measuring tape out." Like stupid little details. Like what difference does 3 inches make on a 4-foot wall? It's just stupid little things like that. But the whole time, like my landlord, he had his head down, he had his arms over the top of his head. He did not look impressed at all. And it didn't take long to realize things were kind of going against him. And I felt so bad, because it was me that actually started the project. I didn't ask him about it. And I didn't know that he was planning on doing it. So I felt bad. But at this point, I was under the impression that my neighbor was suing my landlord for the expenses of fixing the wall. Because I think I've explained this before. It's like I was just going to take the rocks out, fix the ground behind it, put some gravel in, and put the rocks back the way they were. Nice and simple. But my neighbor decided it had to have a concrete base, it had to have mortar in the road, and he made it expensive. So that was my impression, that he was doing this. But after we finished the court case, my neighbor grabbed me as I was walking by, and he gave me a hug and thanked me. So I'm assuming he's thanking me for being honest, taking responsibility for it, or whatever. I'm not sure. But there's a little more to this. I don't find out until much time has gone by, but I don't want to spoil the kind of surprise ending to this, I guess you could say. But they have to go back in a couple weeks, I think it was, and the judge was going to make her decision. So at this point, my part's done. So my landlord's lawyer said that I'm not likely to have to go back again. He says if something else comes up, then they might need me for reference one more time, but he says chances are, I'm finished with it, so that's good. I'm happy with that. But like I say, I feel bad for my landlord, because he's kind of getting pulled into this, and it's just not a good situation all the way around. I'm going to close this video with my last cleanup job with Codey. Leaf cleaning. we do this house, often, and of course, if I remember correctly, Codey was working, so we couldn't do this in the daytime. I had to come back at night. And it's windy, and it's rainy. It's not a nice night to be out, but we got the job done anyways. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.